I'm not going to lie to you. If you start hiking this trail, you may not want to stop until you get to the end, 68 miles later. Having said that, I think I know of a way to make your journey just a little easier. This is the beginning of the Backbone Trail, or the end of it, your choice. There's no right answer. The route runs more or less north-south through the Santa Monica Mountains in Southern California. Now, unlike most through hikes, people complete the trail in a series of day hikes because the trail isn't very friendly to backpackers. There's not a lot of places to camp, and water sources are hard to find. For the most part, the 109 kilometers or 68 miles are quite lovely, even in the fog. But this section is one of the more spectacular ones, starting near a beach and climbing to not only views of the Pacific Ocean, but all sorts of mountain vistas.
The trail wastes no time climbing the hillside, although it's a reasonable grade. To the top is 2.7 miles with a little less than 1,000 feet of gain. On a morning fog day like this, I'm missing the views to the ocean, but I have to admit the cool mystery of being able to see only 50 feet in front of me makes the hike more intriguing. It's as if the rest of the world has disappeared, and it feels like I'm truly alone in the wilderness. I am brought back to reality when a group of firefighters trot by during a training exercise. It is fire season after all.
Now, what we have here in terms of vegetation is known as coastal sage scrub. Now, we're talking about the environment, not a specific plant. Oh, by the way, this is manzanita. Now, even though we're just above the coast, this is considered semi-desert because it only gets about a foot of rain a year, plus 10 inches in fog. Now, even with all the sun and wind, black sage, poppies, and yuccas manage to survive. By the way, Chumash natives use these leaves to clean their teeth, just in case you needed to know that.
After traversing a small ridge, I come to the top.
In case you were wondering, the Miller Trail was named after a fellow who used to live at the trailhead in a small trailer and acted as a year-round campground host. I met him once. He was a likable guy. He warned me about the rattlesnakes. Well, after one nipped at my ankles and missed. Now, when you come to this junction, your legs may be singing a tune of misery, or you might be cruising through like the outdoor pro that you are. All because of these things. Yeah, hiking poles. They're the only way I know of to turn one's bipedal situation into four-wheel drive. The pair I have come from an obscure company called Cascade Mountain Tech, and they were purchased from that fine purveyor of outdoor gear, Costco. Now, as you might guess, they are less expensive. A 2-pack can run you 80 bucks American. A single pair from Black Diamond can cost about $200. So, how do these Cascade Mountain Tech poles compare? Nice thing about hiking poles is you only have to worry about a few specs, not a lot of bells and whistles. These are made of carbon fiber and weigh 16 ounces for the pair. Trust me, your arms won't get tired hefting them. The grips are cork, which might have also helped to shave a little weight, but I also prefer cork because I can still hold on even if my hands get sweaty. Plus, They absorb vibration better than harder materials. And you have the standard issue wrist straps. The built-in tips are made of tungsten carbide. After extending the poles to the right length, more on that later, the sections easily lock in place. And they're marked so you can adjust them to the same length each time. Nothing revolutionary about that. Lastly, the poles come with a handful of accessories, something you don't usually get with the major brands. There's this odd thing called a boot tip, which can be used for extra traction on certain surfaces. It comes with two kinds of baskets, one for general use that prevents the poles from sinking into the soft ground, and then a snow basket for, trudging through snow. Lastly, there is this rubber tip, which you can use in those rare cases when you're walking on, say, pavement and you don't want to annoy people with the clacking sound of your metal tip. Also, it can be used to prevent jabbing accidents when you're not using the poles. Now, you may know a naysayer or two who thinks hiking poles are overhyped. Well, here's some scientific information you can whip out the next time the topic comes up, assuming it will. The pole's most important function, at least for me, is they reduce the perception of effort going uphill. Now, according to some scientists, that hit of confidence might be all you need to get past a steep ascent. Next, when used correctly, the poles absorb some of the banging that your knees and other joints might otherwise suffer, especially when going downhill. Now, I don't know if this is important to you, but you burn up 20% more calories using poles. Then there's accident prevention. Speaking from personal experience, my poles have saved me from a catastrophic face plant after tripping on a root or rock. Finally, because the poles help with maintaining a solid walking rhythm, you tend to hike faster. Downsides: some people believe that habitual pole use reduces your coordination and balance. Plus, if you go pole-less, the stress on your knees and joints while hiking can actually strengthen them over time. So there's that. There's not a huge amount of skill involved with hiking poles. Just the same, I've seen some pretty useless pole utilization. Nope, not even close. Not much better because he's not really pushing off with a pole. Yep, that's it. Look at that form. It's perfect. Elbows are cocked at a 90 degree. One pole out in front of a back foot and then vice versa. Beautiful. Now, most people recommend using the wrist strap, so here's how you do it. Go up from the bottom, around, grab the wrist strap and the handle at the same time, and you are ready. So, how do the Cascade Mountain Tech poles perform? Pretty much like any other. No sign of cheapness despite the price. My only quibble is the locking mechanism. In order for it to hold firm, you have to turn the nut every once in a while. It's not a deal breaker, but it's kind of annoying. Other than that, they're solid poles.
And now that the fog is lifted, from here, it's a hiker's choice for how much farther you want to go. The Backbone Trail continues to the left on the Overlook Fire Road. And as I said, with all this scenery, you might be tempted to do the entire Backbone. Most people complete it in 7 or 8 days. And if you have your hiking poles, that shouldn't be much of a bother.